So I bought an Audi R8 from Copa for half the price from what they retail at. I paid only £40,000 for it. Bought as a non-runner with unknown faults, I took the risk and bidded on it. Am I gonna win this Audi R8? No way, I won it. Audi R8 is mine. With a failed engine being the worst thing that can happen to it, I had a look at the price of used engines. While these turned out to go for around 25k, this purchase was certainly a massive risk for me. Some of you guys know that I own Boost Performance that specialize in engine building, so of course I went for the risk. What's the worst that can happen, right? In the last video, the car arrived to us on a trailer and we got straight to work. Immediately, the signs showed multiple warnings on the dashboard and an engine that won't start, just as the advert said. We quickly diagnosed it to be a seized engine as the crank wouldn't move at all. The decision was then made to remove the engine from the car, which brings us to today, where we will strip this V10 engine down to see what's happened exactly. So tune in and enjoy. The V10 engine is out. Look at that. Empty Audi R8 engine bay. All right, it's a new day today, V10 day. That's what it is. Time to strip this beast down, see what's going on. So the plan for today is remove the plenum at the top, remove the cylinder heads, and then look for damages. So what do you guys think of this engine? Looks rather complex, isn't it? What some of you guys don't know is an Audi RS3, my last project car actually, they call it half of a Lamborghini, half of a Huracan, half of an R8. Why that is it's got 5 cylinders, this got 10, V10, half of that, because the design is very, very similar to this engine right here. See this cylinder head? Literally identical to a Daza cylinder head, which comes in the Audi RS3, except obviously this is not turbocharged, this is just naturally aspirated. So let's remove this exhaust manifold first. It's got a few bolts on the manifold, I think about 8, 4 on top, 4 on the bottom. So this is the cam cover, it's got about 12 bolts on that. Gently ease it off so we can remove it completely. There you have it. That's the V10 camshafts exposed. So this is the intake plenum. I'm going to start removing it. There's a few bolts on either side, a few on the top, which I've already taken off. That's done. So that's off, that's off. So over here, you got 2 screws. Not great access, so what I'm going to do is put a little socket there and use a spanner to turn it, just to break it. That's it. So we're just undoing the last screw for the intake plenum. And by the way, if this was a Huracan engine, this would have been in black and would have said Lamborghini on it. That's the difference between the R8 and Huracan engine. That's the only difference. Just the cover on top. Everything else is labeled the same. Plenum's coming off. Rubber on the other side. There's one underneath here as well. So you got a breather attached here.
One-way hose here. They're both connected here basically.
Lift up. I think that's everything.
Yep.
There you go. Whoa. Intake plenum in the air and some fuel on my chest as well. Whoa. You're not got a lighter? So we're going to remove the cylinder head on this side first. So usually on a Lamborghini Huracan, you get stickers from a Audi, Volkswagen. However, if you come over here, look at this. We've got a Lamborghini logo on an Audi. How about that?
Does Audi make them?
Nice. So over here is a timing chain cover. We've taken the screws off already. So I'm going to remove this. Here you can see the vanoses, intake and exhaust vanos. They're both labeled intake and exhaust. Here's the timing chain. Now if you come around here, you might be thinking, why is the camshaft moving ever so slightly? We've got Sean over there turning the flywheel, which is in turn turning the crankshaft and the whole engine manually. So what we're trying to do is get the camshaft timing marks to come to the top so we can set our timing tool in place. So now we have the camshafts lined up. We can now put the timing tool on, which goes straight onto those slots there, and these bolts secure straight on there. This basically means the camshaft is where it should be, and obviously the next thing we'd have to do is line up the crankshaft down there to set the timing on this side of the engine. And don't forget, you got to do the same on the other side as well. So now that the timing tool is locked and the bolts are tightened, this basically means We are in the position for timing, so now we can go ahead and remove both fan hoses. And here, out comes the timing chain tensioner. This is what applies tension to the chain to keep it in place. This car's timing chain system is very, very complex. You guys will see once I open it up. So next up, we're going to remove the camshaft carrier. This holds the camshafts in place. So when we remove this, the camshafts will go out with it. Now the reason we need to do that is, if you look inside, that's the cylinder head bolts. It goes all across. Those bolts secure the cylinder head to the engine block, and there's no way we can access that. As you can see, the bolt is literally behind the camshaft. Now on the previous generation engines, from these ones, they had like a cutout over there, so you can just go straight in and take it out. But in this situation, you got to remove the camshaft carrier and then take the bolts off. That's the carrier removed, exposing just the camshafts. These should now be free to be removed, as you can see. And now we have exposed the cylinder head bolt, which we can now put a tool to and start removing. That is tight. Nah, get the gun.
Come on, man. I want to see how weak I am.
Jeez.
No, man. Come on, man. What guy must be?
I didn't try it.
Come on, man.
Use your whole body. So about to remove the cylinder head, and this is kind of the moment where you expect to see a lot of craziness happening. Last time I took my SVR head off, you guys remember there was a piston completely smashed into the head, and that was game over for that block, piston and rod. We had to get a new block. Look over here, right there. That's the SVR cylinder block. We had to get a new block, well, a used block anyway. But yeah, man, this is it. Let's lift this head up. Let's see what my fate is with this project. Ready? I'll let you guys see. I'm not going to say nothing yet. Ready?
You have it?
Lift it up, lift it up. Oh, 1 second, 1 second. One more line. All right. We have lift off. Come over. Let's have a look. So this is the head gasket. The thing that sits between the cylinder head and the block. One time use only. So this is going to the bin. We're going to have to get new ones. Have a look over here. To say the least, we got 5 pistons. The liners look very, very clean. So far, so good. At the moment, we've had nothing to worry about on this engine. As of yet, we're gonna have to keep stripping till we find out something wrong. So yeah, it's currently 6 p.m. We got about half an hour or so. Let's see if we can get the other head off in time. If we do, then we'll take it from there. Second side off. That's it. Onto the head bolts, and we've got the other side cylinder head off. We're riding out for today's upload. We don't want to long it out till next week, man. Gotta crack on, get this head off and assess the damage. All of it. Ready? Give me some reviews on this one as well. Yes. Yes. Good news so far. That's all I wanted to see. Stay tuned. Let the head come off. So as you can see, this is just the engine block left. Both of the cylinder heads have now been removed. Come over here. If you look at the liners, absolutely perfect. Pistons are exactly where they're supposed to be. Nothing's blown up, nothing's hit anything. Same with the other side. Now if you come back to the cylinder head, we just removed this side. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. So where does that leave us? We found absolutely nothing yet. Bottom end damage. We checked the oil filter. There was no cuttings in there. The only thing we found is that the engine is tight before, but then now it's gone loose, so it's like a tricky one. It's a very tricky one. So what we're doing now is basically turning the engine to check the rest of the liners, as a few of the pistons were high, so you couldn't inspect the liners properly. And if you go through them now, as you can see, still perfect, pitch perfect condition. So far, to me, it looks like whoever had the car last and was inspecting it called it a day when they saw the engine was seized. But I had a feeling that the engine's not seized. I don't know why, but clearly it's not seized. It's turning by itself. So at this moment, we found no damage whatsoever, and it seems like the person who was checking the car last has been thrown off when they saw the engine seized. I was quite confident that it's not seized for whatever reason, and that's also the reason why we didn't do a compression test right at the start, because the starter motor was finished and the engine was seized. Obviously, as we got the engine out, we put WD-40 into the test. 1 minute. So as we put the engine out, we put WD-40 into the bores, and that kind of freed it up. So I'm just guessing it was a bit stuck rather than seized. There was no cuttings in the oil filter, nothing like that. So that will bring us to the end of this video. It's Friday, 6 p.m. Time to call it a day. Go home, come back on Monday, and we will continue to inspect this engine and see if there's a fault. If there's a fault, I don't know. I've got a feeling that there isn't, and we're just gonna have to find out. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. This is Nams from Boost Performance. Stay tuned for more.